All right, we're getting ready for another Pocket Rocket assisted run line augmentation run. Paddles over the shoulder because I don't have my 3-piece Black Project paddle yet, but I'm gonna use the Pocket Rocket to hopefully get out to the run line, pack it away, pull out the paddle, and then continue my downwind run. We've got a longer Pocket Rocket kind of wing out, shall I say, because we're kind of where the wingers launch, because my buddy was launching a ski down here, and it's super up and down in here, and it looks glassy right now, so that's not good, but hopefully there's some gusts and I can wing out there and then have good downwinder. Woo, here we go. So it's a little bit irritating having the paddle over the shoulder because it tends to like catch on your bridle lines when you're trying to get up, and it's just probably a little bit more dangerous to just have it like on your side. So I only really like this for when I am tacking once out to a run line, not going upwind and then downwind. That's just way too much time to be on the Pocket Rocket with the paddle over your shoulder like that. You can tell it's like, you know, it's just kind of annoying. So in the back with the 3-piece paddle is much better for upwind, downwind. And then this is like okay for run line augmentation, but it is a little bit annoying. So I can't wait to get a 3-piece paddle and be back in action with that. Let's try it. Give it a shot. Jeep, it'll please let me slog out. All right, so this is known as schlogging. And this is when the balance is pretty hard on a parawing because you don't have a paddle or a wing to brace off of. You're just kind of balancing on a bowling ball. Here we go, I almost had it. Not quite. All right, we're up. So now we're headed out. We're gonna survive all these holes, see if we can make it out there. Whew. That was one hole. Figure out what happened to my music. There we go. All right, so wind's a little fluky in here, so we got to keep up on foil and make it through all these holes. But luckily, once on foil, you can kind of prone pump it out. Not ideal, but pretty doable. music keeps turning on. Come on now. All right, so we're cruising out with the 3-meter Ozone Pocket Rocket. We got the paddle over our shoulder method samurai sword, and I'd say this works for getting out to a run line, so run line augmentation, but it's too annoying to have that paddle over your shoulder doing significant upwind downwinders. And so for the upwind downwinder, I definitely want the 3-piece paddle in the back of my Vicobie, and then once I get mine, I'll probably just switch back and forth between putting it in the back for upwind or downwinders, and then over the shoulder for run line augmentation. And the reason for that is I like to have the paddle in my hand to turn harder, and then once I'm out to my run line, like, I like having the paddle and doing the downwinders that way, so I can get up faster with my paddle than I can redeploy a pocket rocket, which, you know, sometimes is a couple seconds, and it just keeps you in the flow of the moment. And so yeah, we're about to get windy here, so I'm gonna put my GoPro in and focus. This thing flies so nice. This is a 3, kind of the money size for the Central Coast for doing downwinders. It works for upwind, downwind too, but you kind of need a little bit better of a day. And usually I'm doing a full downwind run with a shuttle on those good days, unless I don't have any friends. And so maybe the 3.6 or the 4.3 for those upwind downwinders. But right now in the downwind out here, 3 meters lit. More than enough. So hold on to this like that. Use that to regulate the power. We lit. Look at these bumps. This is awesome. Ride them. Alright, so we'll stow our parawing, put this under our arm. We're going to take our time gathering the leading edge all together. Follow these bumps. Now we got the leading edge. I kind of wrap the trailing edge. So now I have the pocket rocket in one hand, bar under my arm. This I find just really works for me because it puts the, it just divides the parts. So I can put this in the bottom, and then my bar is going to be on the top. So if I do need to redeploy, it's just totally straightforward. There's no tangles. I just have a much better chance of doing it cleanly and easily. And it also helps me separate my two different motions. So you can like put this in the pouch ride a bump, peel off, find another good one, then put the bar in. So rather than trying to do too much at once when you're downwinding, just break it up into individual steps. So we got our pouch. We'll go ahead and stow our parawing. We got a nice bump. We'll grab our bar. We'll put our bar in the pouch as well, avoid that kelp. Okay, so now we're downwinding. We got our parawing put away, the Pocket Rocket 3 meter, and we can downwind with our hands free. This is what it's normally like with the 3-piece paddle in our back, and it's fun. It's nice to have your hands free, but I feel like since I'm used to supping, I like the ability to push pretty hard against the paddle and like lean into it in turns, and then I can also like drag it and just kind of use it as a tool for downwinding, which I think it's a pretty useful tool. And so what I'm going to do is take the paddle off of my back, not have my hands free, but have my paddle in my hands, and done that once before, and it worked really well. So I'm excited. There's a lot of kelp out here today, so you got to be cautious to avoid. You got to watch where I'm going. Huh. Interesting, there's so much kelp. Little floaters. All right, let's do that. All right, easy enough. Totally easy to do. All right, get our paddle in hand. Start chirping the bumps. Hop behind this one. Woohoo! Woohoo! no way. Yee-hoo. So unreal. Woo-hoo-hoo. So since we tacked out under sail with the Pocket Rocket and did some run line augmentation, we can just surf the waves any direction we want, right, left, wherever, because we've already gotten wide. We don't need to cut, so that's just such a treat. Today was not really any paddling too. Pretty she. Woo-hoo-hoo. Oh, yeah, baby. And there's a lot of kelp. Pay attention. Wow. Right into the spot, let it build, and drop in. Woo! Ow! Oh my gosh. What a treat. chase it. You got the speed, might as well use it to chase down some ways and then turn on them. Ow! Look at these things. Oh, this is sick. Woo! Wow. Stand and glide. Oh, having so much fun. This is a good run. Thanks to the Pocket Rocket for the ride out to the run line, and the paddle for the rest of the way. Look at these swell trains. Wow. Woo. All right, now we chase. We're not a racer, but for a big wave, we'll take it. Alright, then we turn in, top turn, cut back. Woo-hoo! Ow! The ocean is surfable. I can't believe I live in the time where this is possible. The ocean is surfable. This is freaking incredible. The 130 is just such an incredible foil because it's got enough to always be riding it with the low end, yet it just turns so nicely and then has the speed to overtake bumps just to do a better top turn and bottom turn. It's just unreal. Sweet zone. Oh. So you can see if you want, you have enough speed to overtake and cut back, do nice slow turns. It's just such a sweet spot for downwinding. Really does it all. Gotta love the Florence 130X from lift. It's just woo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo. My happy place. Oh, so much fun. Woo-hoo-hoo. All right. I don't know what to say other than this is just ridiculous. I'm all by myself in the middle of the ocean, and it's a surf spot, and there's no one out. There's never anyone out. It's like permanently 0 people. Like you wake up at 4:30 a.m. to get no people out surfing. It's just this way every day. And the wave is 30 minutes long. This is like quadruple the length of Skeleton Bay. Ooh. Ooh. It's an ice plant. Ooh. All right. Oh, such a fun run. Cruising on the 130 Florence. Pocket Rocket. Totally stowed away in its pouch. And we're free to downwind as we please. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. watch out for all this floating kelp. Woo. Woo. Oh, whoa, I think I broke through that piece of kelp. Woo-hoo. So, my buddy that I hitched a shuttle with didn't want to drop me off at our normal spot or pick me up. So we went to Grand, which is not as good of a run, because down there it's more likely to stay filled in, and over here it usually dies and just kind of there's no wind, but the bumps are still running, but they're definitely more shadowed, and so you can tell it's getting glassier and the bumps are changing as I now cut left to come into Grand, which when it's an iffy day, don't want to go to Grand, but if it's a solid day like today, the bumps will be there, and we're gonna foil to the beach. Woo! So this is like conditions where there's no way you would get up with a parawing. The wind is completely dead, but as you can see, there's still bumps here. So there's bumps to ride, and with the paddle we can get up. So it's just hammers home the point that you don't want to open ocean downwind with just a parawing and no paddle for backup. Even a bigger size parawing isn't going to help you if the wind completely dies and goes offshore, which right now I've got glassy bumps to surf. And I'm stoked because I got my paddle. The thing that wingers usually wouldn't think about when they try and get into downwinding with the pocket rocket is you're not forecasting wind for the end spot. You're forecasting wind through the whole run. And if you're gonna be relying on the wind, that's really difficult to do. And it's pretty much impossible to rely on it because you never know. In the middle of the run, it could die. At the end, it could glass off, could go offshore. And so really for journeying, like going one place to point A to point B, you gotta have the ability to get up when there's no wind. And classy bumps are the funnest to surf, so yeah, there's that too. Another beautiful downwinder with the Ozone Pocket Rocket. Got out to our run line under sail, stowed it away, pulled out our paddle, downwind the rest of the way home. Oh, so fun. Woo, thanks for joining us. Practice safe downwinding. Don't go open ocean with a pocket rocket or any periwing without a board that you can paddle up and a paddle for backup. If you're going in the open ocean, up and backs and close to shore, do whatever you want, but going more than 5 miles, you know, to the side, 10 miles distance, that's nowhere to go without being free of being reliant on the wind. You do not want to be reliant on the wind, because you want to do this over and over again. And the rule is, if you do it every day, you're gonna get caught out if you don't have a backup. So you may have been fine until this point, but be safe, have fun. That's stupid fun.